Welcome to the Typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep, you decide, questioning the matrix from UFOs. Welcome to the Typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep, you decide, questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows alone reside. Rob Khalil busting myths like ghosts in the night, paranormal pros, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical, seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise, from abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls breaking out of the stable. Darkman howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fix, twisting reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams, near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. Skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs.
Welcome to Typical Skeptic Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Welcome to Typical Skeptic.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I'm really excited about my guest today. We've done a lot of shows together over the years, probably at least 20 to 30, you know. One of my most requested guests is back on the channel. Indigo Angel, Amanda DeMarco, has joined us over 20 plus times, bringing her unique perspective on planetary gridwork, Guardian Alliance teachings, ascension science, consciousness, and the hidden architecture of our world. Today's conversation dives into one of the most fascinating subjects we've explored yet: Mermaid Kingdoms, the Strait of Gibraltar, and the Poseidon Gate. Could the legendary gateway between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea conceal one of Earth's most important energetic portals? Where advanced aquatic civilizations once connected to Atlantis? Was the Poseidon Gate in the way it appeared in esoteric teachings and ancient mythology? We'll also discuss ancient planetary gateways, gridwork, Atlantis connections, underwater civilizations, Guardian Alliance perspectives, current energetic updates, ascension timelines, and audience Q&A. Whether you followed Indy for years or you're discovering her for the first time, this promises to be another mind-expanding conversation, and I'm going to add her to the stage now. Yeah, Indy, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm good, Rob. How are you doing? And can you hear me okay with this little microphone?
Yeah. Yeah, I like those. Those are like those lavalier mics, right?
Yeah. Thought I'd plug it in because I am sitting outside, and sometimes I do get like a little gust of wind, and then sometimes we get random rainstorms and stuff. We've been getting a lot of rain down here, so
yeah, your pool looks nice. Your pool looks nice.
Thank you. You like the mermaid back there?
Where? Oh yeah. I guess I can. Well, I'm on a smaller computer, so yeah, but I can see it a little bit. Like I might have to zoom in. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hold on.
Yeah, zoom on into my mermaid over there. She's
I see right over my screen. Yeah, to the right. Yeah.
Yep. She's basking in the sun. Her breasts are out. You know,
wow.
She doesn't want to cover them up with any seashells today or anything, but you know, she's just letting it all hang out.
What's your hat say? I like your hat.
It says Crab Island.
Okay, is that in Florida?
It's in Destin, Florida. Yeah, I went maybe a couple weeks ago. It was fantastic. There was a lot of activation of the primordial waters there. It's definitely a portal.
Wow.
Yeah, Crab Island is a portal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And there's like little baby crabbies that are there, and it's just a place that a lot of people go. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people go, and they set up on the sandbar and they just enjoy themselves in the water.
I saw one video you did. Someone actually sent it to me. You were in like a lazy river, like, you know, like where was that at?
So that's the Blackwater River National Forest.
Yeah.
There's another place, the Ponce de Leon Springs as well, but these are the closest,
Yeah.
river springs that are next to me. So yeah, I do the river floats. You got to get in the rivers because that's what purifies the spirit the
You
best.
gotta
the best.
are you clearing that like energetically and stuff? Like do you kind of clear those and stuff when you're there?
I kind of let them clear me, to be honest with you. I feel like they're so much more powerful than I am. They're just like some
Yeah.
massive frequency flown in from the extension arm of SS2, especially the Blackwater River here. That one really clears black energy. So honestly, I leave the river crying a lot, like not meaning to, but I'm just get very emotional when I'm there because it's such a powerful clearing. Yeah, I recommend anyone to clear in the rivers if they're have any forms of attachments, entities, if they need to purify themselves, the rivers they'll do it for you.
Yeah. So do you want me to start presenting?
Yeah, we could set the stage. We're gonna get into the Mermaid Kingdoms, right?
Yeah. Also, before that, tell people about your event too, because I know you're having an event. If you want to talk about that too before we start, we can always plug it after. But I figured now would be a good time too. Either
Yeah,
way, if you want, it's up to you.
yeah. Well, it's a 5-day event, September 18th through the 22nd. It's down here in Pensacola. We'll be in Perdido Key. We'll be at the Blackwater River National Forest. I actually set up a whole group river float for 3 hours for us. So it's like this whole bus that takes you up to the top of the river, and then we all float down together. Just so much, so much. We're going to be really working with the primordial waters, which I think is what is activating right now. We're having like a mass guardian contact event that's happening all the way through Lionsgate. And really through the equinox, where we have a lot of guardians coming forward. We're having the migration trails of the dragons that really activated in June, and just all of the dragon profiles that are coming forward. And then a lot of the celestial guardians. And then we've been having the mermaids come and contact us as well. So there's just so much. It's like the energies are so heightened, they're so activated. And I think that we're also rehabilitating our relationship with the moon right now. A lot of those artificial moon, theories of it being an artificial satellite and all these things, I think this is getting reclaimed in some sense, that like the moon's true origins coming from, Tara and the breakage of Theia, and all of this coming back to us, like the moon's memories are getting restored. And so it's really allowing us to connect in with the aquatic kingdoms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Consciousness that's coming forward. So this is who and what I work with. This is the essence of the true mermaid lineage's spirits. They are spirits from the waters. They're primordial spirits of the waters. So they're magical beings, and our whole ocean is filled with the ones that have come forward. I think there's 15 mermaid lineages that have come forward to kind of reveal themselves. I know that there's more. There's many that are not spoken for, but our oceans are just full of the kingdoms, and a lot of these lineages work together to really manage the water politics that are going on underneath the sea and the oceanic stargates, because we do have several solar universal stargates, such as like SS3, the Bermuda Triangle. This is an Atlantean stargate devastation site. And that is also needing to be rehabilitated right now. So in order for us to even like get to the New Earth timelines and all this stuff, we have to assess the damage that was happened in SS3, the wreckage body of Atlantis. And so that's really why the mermaids, I do believe, made contact with me in the first place, was to reveal the extensive amount of damage that is there, what the mermaid lineages are doing under the waters to try to rectify what's there, but also to kind of like tell on some people, basically, like tell on some of these groups, because, some of the secret space program and some of these, black op military programs, they've been subjugating the mermaids. They've been taking their organic tissue matter, been taking them for cloning, like taking them into their laboratories and torturing them and hunting them. It's chaos. So there's a lot of these unauthorized SSP vessels, and even, Draco vessels and Anunnaki vessels and Federation vessels that are going through the waters. And so the mermaids are just not having it. they're here to really kind of defend the waters and to help us work with that wreckage body of SS3. So much is going on, Rob. We haven't spoken a while, but I've been lit up like a Christmas tree, as you can tell.
No,
So
that's awesome. So what you think like so some of these black ops like the SSP and stuff are actually like experimenting on mermaids? That's horrible. That's crazy.
yeah. Well, it was actually confirmed to me by someone who I consider to be an SSP, informant. Hopefully they're working on the side of light, but I don't know. But they let me know that the mermaids were being subjugated, and then it was confirmed to me when I did a remote view on SS3 because I seen that they were extracting the 12-strand DNA blood of the original 12-strand matriarchal lineages, which are the mermaids. The mermaids are carrying this. So they
Yeah.
will, get a hold of them, extract their tissues, take their DNA, use them to create above ground fleets that they ship above super soldier fleets. And essentially these types, they will actually like create them from the mermaids that carry the 12-strand Atlantic DNA, the
Wow.
original 12 tribe DNA. So yeah, they'll mix them with, alpha dracos and grays and mechanical AI, sentient AI, and then deploy them to head the ascension programs above the water. So really a lot of what is happening on the surface level is coming from beneath the oceans. And yeah, it's absolutely insane. But there are mega cities that are connected to SS3. The mermaids don't tend to go into the mega cities very often. The mermaids, especially the Atlantic diamond mermaids, one of the ones that we're going to get into today, they let me know that they don't go usually swim into the mega cities too often or even into the wreckage zone of Atlantis because that's where they'll get captured. That's where they'll get basically taken for these things. And
Yeah.
then they have to send in you know, mission rescue groups and things like this. They'll send their mermen to the outpost and try to recollect people and things like this. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. Like, don't go over there. That's an elephant graveyard. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But all of this sits beyond the Poseidon Gate, basically. So there's a Poseidon Gate. There's multiple Poseidon Gates that are in the Atlantic waters. Most of them are on the west side and centralized, but right now there's been a lot of activity on the eastern Poseidon Gate, which is at the Strait of Gibraltar.
Well, and where
So,
exactly is the Strait of Gibraltar? Is that by Spain?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Spain
Okay.
and
And,
Morocco,
and,
where those
and you
two
know
lands
what's
meet.
weird about this, and I know you know this, you probably heard this because I know you follow geopolitics. Like supposedly, like 250,000 immigrants just got bolted into Spain, which I find that interesting. Did you see that? Do you think it ties in?
1000%. And let me tell you why. So if you actually go to my thing that I sent you, the PDF images, I have a picture of the SS3, SS10 water meetup point. So basically, the Strait of Gibraltar is a wormhole. So there's actually this map. It's like the 12 wormhole vortices maps. Isa sent it to me. Isa's amazing. Amazing. Shout out to Isa. Um, but essentially, that's a wormhole location because between the land points of Gibraltar, of Spain and Morocco, there's actually there's 9 miles between that, and there's a very narrow trench that goes down into the waters. It goes super deep. And so this is actually, I think that this wormhole got triggered. It got turned on basically, and it started pulling energy down into that trench because not only was there that mass migration crisis of 50,000 people that tried to cross the waters, right? And basically invade Spain, but there was a mass death event that happened because 75 of them, I guess the death tolls up to 75, drowned in the Strait of Gibraltar. So
Whoa.
yeah, I mean, and the mermaids are coming forward and they're search and rescue missions with some of these people that have drowned, trying to get souls, rescue souls, try to get souls into the hydrospheric portals of Eden and get them to go into the heavenly portals and things like that through the waters and try to help souls, navigate drowning passageways and things like this. But basically, that's been pretty traumatic for the mermaids because you have the Mediterranean houses to the right in the Mediterranean waters, very ancient mermaids, sirens that go back, a long time. They're the ones that have had all the run-ins with um, people on ships and things like this, like seamen and things like this, like having like this whole narrative that the mermaids tried to like kill them or hunt them or eat them or seduce them or whatever. But those ones, they said that that's not true. I mean, the mermaids are saying that's not true. They honestly laugh about it, which is hilarious. When I connect with them, they start saying like, they would say things like this about us because we're so beautiful, like because they're really pretty. Like the Mediterranean siren houses, they're like gorgeous mermaids. They're the most beautiful mermaids in the entire sea. So they like really kind of gloat off that a little bit. But yeah, they said they actually help like shipwrecks and things like this, but they really let a lot of passage through their waters. But one thing that they're not allowing passage through the waters is all these unauthorized vessels, because really this is a whole universal Stargate war at the end of the day, because this is between SS10 and SS3. There's a freaking wormhole between the water passageways between SS3, the Bermuda Triangle, and SS10, basically technically another oceanic universal Stargate portal, because where is it at? It's sitting on the Persian Sea. It's sitting in the Red Sea. So the Strait of Gibraltar is an access point. It's the center point. It's a wormhole that's between both of those gate systems, basically. So I really think that there is a connection between the Strait of Hormuz, the war in Iran, the whole, SS10 type invasion mindset, that they're extending their extension arms. I mean, SS10 it's a conquer and conquest military body, basically. So I think that this has a lot to do with them, obviously with what happened with the migration crisis. That really kind of sets the stage for that. But I also think that it was a Trojan horse event, in the sense that there was many that were like subgroups in between that. So it's like, yeah, you had some innocent migrants, this and that, but you had these like subgroups that they're going into after certain targets, right? They're going in to target, SS11, SS12, the Albion ley line. Really, they're going to what's it called when you get rid of a certain group of people?
I'm gonna start sharing your
okay.
your
They're basically hunting. They're hunting the Christos Sophia lines. That's what they're doing.
So, what should I start with the first page here? The Guardian Mermaid Lineages of Earth.
Oh yeah, so that's just a lovely map. I love this map so much. It just really gives an idea of where all the mermaid and Lemurian sea temples are located, which mermaid lineages and which groups are where and which waters.
This is so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like so accurate. There's a nice little key or a legend on the side of this. I'm actually currently putting together a mermaid book that I will have available soon. That'll have all this information and pictures and stuff for people to get. It's going to be up in like a week on my website, but it's just, a little download for people that, they can have this information. But yeah, so this is, I mean, you can see where Gibraltar is, if you put your little cursor over where Gibraltar is, between Morocco and Spain.
Right around here somewhere, right?
Yeah. Kind of like the highest point of North Africa.
Okay. So like right here. Yeah,
yes,
I think.
Yes. Okay, so basically the yellow on the right are the Mediterranean siren houses, and the location of their sea temples. Really, a lot of their temples are near Cyprus and Malta.
Greece, maybe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Greece. Okay. Yeah, they have a lot of temples near Greece. They'll kind of put their temples, like sometimes it just depends on the mermaid lineage, but some of them will put them in like shallow areas, shallow water. Some of them put them in like the river mouths that open up to the ocean, and some of them will actually take them like right off the sea shelves and things like that and put them down below the sea shelves. So it just depends. Just depends. What I got about the Mediterranean ones is that they like to put their sea temples near the islands. And then you can see on the other side is the blue. These are the Atlantic diamond mermaids. And these ones have been the most communicative psychically. These ones have been like, hey, we want to work with you guys. Like, the time is now. Like, you got to know what's going on in the waters because we have things going on down here. We got to tell you guys about this. Like, and we need to work with humanity. They've kind of reached a threshold within their consciousness that they are ready to work with humankind. Like, those that are ready to take like guardianships and like ready to communicate and like help them restore the sea waters. But they've kind of come forward as probably the spokespeople, the guardian spokes mermaids per se, out of all the other ones. Um, but yeah, I have pictures of each one of the lineages that we can talk about, and then when you come back and look at the map, it's like, okay, this makes so much more sense now. Like,
This is interesting. So there's even Yonaguni. I see. I had to zoom in a little bit because I'm on a smaller computer. So like it's like I see you have like the Marianas Trench and the Hawaii Stargates like mapped here, and like the Lesser Antilles, and then you have the Yonaguni dragon mermaids and the Mariana Abyssal mermaids and like the Black Sea Memory mermaids and I mean this is really cool. And then if you scroll down, the South Atlantic storm mermaids and the Pacific Lemurian mermaids from Hawaii. I mean, that's really cool. Would you say this? Do each set of mermaids usually correlate towards a Stargate area?
Um, not necessarily, but the ones that do, they're active with working with what's going on around that Stargate. The
Yeah.
mermaids are more connected to the lunar gate system. So they
Okay.
do work with the Stargates. Obviously, the Atlantic Diamond Mermaids, like they have a lot to do with SS3. The Red Sea Mermaids, the Firewater Mermaids that are in the Red Sea and the Gulf, those ones do, work with the politics of what's going on with SS10. But mostly the lunar gate system, because they're more connected to the primordial consciousness of the sea, which is more connected to the moon. And so there's actually 28 lunar gate systems across the entire planet that are at the high and low tides on the earth. This is usually where the mermaids gather. They'll actually gather on like rocks at these points, and this is where they do a lot of their sea singing, their soul songs. This is where they, call out to other mermaid lineages and guardian families and things like this. And yeah, but they work a lot with the lunar aquatic consciousness because that's where the lunar grid matrix resides. It's in the oceans and it's on the seafloor.
And then like I just scrolled over. There's even Caribbean coral mermaids and Gulf emerald mermaids. That would be in the Florida area, the Gulf emerald mermaids. And then going down to like South America, you have the Caribbean coral mermaids. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like so exciting.
It really is. It's interesting. Yeah. All right. So I'll move to and then you have it all mapped here, And then okay, so there you have symbols. This is pretty cool. You have symbols on the side. So if you guys can see this, I hope let me see if people audience can see like
is there a way to make it bigger? I don't know.
I can make it bigger, but then we would have to like move around the map. Like you see what I mean? Like it's bigger, but then it would have to can people still see the whole thing, or is it like
it's like you can see a portion of it?
I wanted to show you guys this. Let me scroll to the right. Okay, where you have this map, where you have a symbol key for you. So you have this little like house thing for like a sea temple or a sanctuary, a diamond kind of thing for a major temple cluster, and then these. I don't know if that's like porcelain or something.
It's like a corridor where they like the current path that they swim, like where are their major swim routes and things like that.
Wow. Shipwreck and soul passage. Does this have to do with like buried treasure and stuff too? I mean, like,
well, yeah, absolutely, for sure, buried treasure, but also has a lot to do with soul memory, moving emotions through the waters, helping souls pass. A lot of shipwrecks result in drownings, so the mermaids are very like familiar with these kind of spiritual technologies. Like they work with. I mean, think about like the movie The Little Mermaid. Like, how did that guy get rescued by her? He fell off the ship. He was going to drown. She saved him. This is like a story that the mermaids all kind of hold near and dear to their heart. A lot of the divine feminine mermaids, not the mermaids, not as much, but the mermaids, they really like kind of sit around with their pearls and kind of like dote over these stories, like how they rescued a guy and like, it's kind of hilarious, like their inner dialogues. But yeah, they're like chumming it up, with all the things that fall off the ships and stuff like that. And they'll often swim down to the shipwrecks and like re-swim through them, look for things. They love particular types of trinkets. They really do. But their favorite one is the mirror and the comb. So if they find mirrors and they find combs and things like this, like they'll just be grooming themselves with it. They have collections of mirrors and combs, so they just start grooming and slathering their fish oil in their hair. They love to have, because they're half fish, they're half human, half fish. That's what they are. And they want to know, for the record, they're saying, for the record, the Anunnaki didn't bring us all of the stuff with the writings and, all this knowledge and technology for civilization. They're saying that came from us, the Mer people. Okay. So they just want you guys to know that. Just letting you know.
Yeah. So they're saying they brought a lot of this knowledge here.
Yeah, they say they came up out of the waters, and because they had civilization before we had civilization. They said all the civilizations existed in the waters before they ever existed on land, because their Earth never used to have land. It was just a primordial water planet for the longest time. So they were here first, establishing civilization.
Okay,
So,
and then this touches on another interesting thing. Another thing you have here is like whale routes. Like, now, are they very in sync with like the whales and the orcas and dolphins and stuff like that?
oh yeah. I mean, dolphins are like their best friends. Whales are like considered their ancestors, their elders. They definitely
You don't ever get
communicate.
into a fight with them or anything like that, or like do they, or they get along for the most part?
I see well, orca whales, not as much. They said they're kind of feisty, but
Yeah.
while sharks, they don't get along with like the shark people. There are like shark hybrids and things like this.
Whoa, shark hybrids?
Yeah. Well, they're not in like all of this. Well, the sharks are in all the seas technically, but like they do have shark hybrid, communities and stuff like this. They don't like those ones. They're like, I think they're tormented souls, to be honest with you. I think that they were extracted by some of the I think the Sirius B Melchizedeks, like some of these
Yeah.
bloodlines.
Did you ever
Yeah.
hear of the CIA experiment? I think Donut covered it. If you ever watch Donut, he's like a conspiracy guy. Where the supposedly the CIA like trained dolphins and they put lasers on dolphins and stuff. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I have heard about some of this stuff. Yeah. I don't know a lot about it because I really try to protect my consciousness from it, because it actually gets me upset.
Yeah, yeah, I
Because
can
it's
imagine
like,
that.
yeah, I mean, like we got 444 Atlantic bottlenose dolphins right here in the Pensacola Bay, like I've connected with them, and it's just like, to think that these groups are doing stuff like this. I mean, we know that they are. It's just that it's sickening, and people should be speaking against this stuff instead of
Yeah,
recruiting people to be a part of it.
yeah.
You know what I
I'm kind
mean?
of zooming out to get into this next image, so I can get the whole. Oh yeah, now I can see. We can see the whole image. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect,
what?
perfect.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you make that a little bit more expanded?
So, but you mean smaller or bigger?
Bigger. Like
Bigger.
it's kind of zoomed in and cutting some of the image off. So I'm just wondering
Oh,
if
so
it.
it's smaller actually. Then you want it like that, right?
Yeah, and then can you grab the bottom of that like window and pull it open more, or no?
I don't know how to do that. I mean, I'm trying, but I mean, like, how do you
What
do that?
if you put the cursor down where the black line is and see if it gives you an option to expand it?
Um, it's not really doing that.
Okay.
It's just
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm
It's
sorry.
fine.
I don't know how. Yeah.
We're doing the best we can. Yeah. So I mean, this was the remote view that I did of SS3. I just all of a sudden got like a ping one day, and it was like, go remote view the bottom of the Bermuda, and I was like, okay. So I did, and then I just seen how this was, well, it's an impact site. It's actually one of the original impact sites from Tara, when we separated from Earth's higher dimensional body Tara. It's also containing remnants of the moon specifically in it. Like the impact has pieces of the moon, so it is harnessing reversal lunar technology here. It is it is sucking energy into it. So it's actually pulling ancient civilizations into the anomaly, like being consumed or being eaten, so to speak. Like, so the basically the civilizations are like inching along the seafloor and getting sucked closer and closer and closer to this gate system. SS3 is basically it's a black hole command center, which means it's not just one black hole. It's where every other single black hole on the planet plugs into. So it's like one big black hole, multiple tiny little black holes coming in from China, coming in from the Arctic, coming in from the California, the wormhole on the Pacific Ocean. So it's a massive site basically. And so there was a lot of black water. When I remote viewed, it was like all black water around it. And so it was like very hard to actually see into it or see, what was happening, because it was all this black water that was there. You could see a lot of broken crystal spires. So, the story of the crystal generators being blown and all this. So there's crystal spires, basically just like jagged ones sticking out of the ground and stuff around the anomaly. And it looked like some of them were, the mermaids said they were trying to rehabilitate those crystals. So they are holding like a lot of this like devastation, grief energy in them, and like a lot of the like loop cycling Atlantean timelines like that are like surfacing back in them. But there also is like good memory that's recorded into them. And I did see that psychically, like other psychic people could tune into these crystals and like read them, but that they would have to be careful to do that because these crystals are basically not clean. They're not clear crystals. Like they're holding like a lot of dark energy.
Yeah.
And then you have the Poseidon Gate off to the side, basically. So this is really where the mermaids kind of draw the boundary line from the wreckage body of Atlantis into their territories. So they don't usually want their kind to go beyond the Poseidon Gate. That's kind of what keeps them safe, basically.
Do they go in and out of that gate to other dimensions and stuff like that?
That's a good question. I feel like, as you say that feels very true. That feels very resonant.
What's on the other side of that gate? You know what I mean? There
Yeah.
has to be other dimensions or something, or other realities. And they probably go to other realities or something,
Yeah. Like there's like a dimensional time frame that would even bring you from that dimension into their dimension. Like you go through like a portal even to get into their like crystal kingdoms and things like that, because those are highly protected. I mean, a lot of their they have prophecies in the waters as well of like a coming of like a golden age of their time, just like we do. Yeah.
And I don't know if you talked about this yet, but what's the huge hole in the center, and why is the things being like a black smoke being sucked down into it? Is that like negative energy or something, or what is that?
Yeah. It's a Stargate devastation site. It's a black hole command center. That's basically where that feeds into the inner Earth black hole system, and then goes into you have the phantom matrix or the WISA system, or even the black hole anomaly, magnetic anomaly that's out there in Laniakea, because there's that too. So yeah, this plugs into a lot of the other wormholes on the planet. Like I seen that this had a streamline into China. This was really plugging into Zion, China, Shanghai, whatever. There's another city, China cities. Well, it plugs into a lot of those.
Taiwan, or is Taiwan its own country? I think, right? It's like
Taiwan's its own country. Yeah, it plugs in over there into a lot of portals in China. It plugs into the black hole in the Pacific next to California. It plugs into the black hole in the Persian Gulf. It plugs into the black hole at the Strait of Gibraltar. So it's they're triggered by the fault lines, right? So it's another reason why the Dracos and all these like negative ETs and secret space program and all these types or whatever, the Federation, why they withhold technology, why they withhold information, why they're very like like almost like insectoid about how they release information and things like this, because they withhold it for a reason, so that way they could withhold the technology and then utilize it for their agendas, right? So that's one of the reasons why I think tectonic disturbances where, you know, you have, it's not DARPA, but the ones that are controlling the weather, you know,
Oh,
right? Because they're trying to implement stress fractures and stress lines to trigger the faults, because if they can trigger the faults, they can open the black holes.
wow. That's huge. Yeah. Like, and that's, so that's how they're manipulating. Like, yeah. Okay. Let me see here. I'll go to the next one. I was zoomed in. So let me see if I can go to the
Yeah,
next
HARP. Thanks,
one.
K41 HARP. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can you guys see that, or do you need me to, you want me to zoom in?
That one might need to be zoomed into because
And then what we can come, maybe we'll just zoom into it and I can just kind of move around it. You know, I can like move up or down. I'll zoom in so people can see it. Like I'll see the move in, see the top
yeah,
part. I'll zoom
yeah.
in and then if you know, I can just move up or down or side to
So if
side or
you go to
whatever.
the upper left-hand corner, that is the list of all of the 12 black holes, basically. And you can
Wow.
see at the center of that, that's the Bermuda. That's the command center, right? That's where like the main anomaly is pulling all the energy into it. And those are all the surrounding major black hole points. And I do think that this is a network of intelligence. So if you trigger one fault, you can trigger one black hole and then another black hole and basically turn them on. And I think this has everything to do with the planetary J seals as well, that those are triggered by these this black hole network and how they can turn that on and off and things like that. Remember I told you, but they've connected this to the death wave on the planet, and when we start having a lot of death, just like, you
Yeah.
know, another person dies, and you know, you've experienced that a lot. I think it's they're turning these on, right?
Wow.
They it's a harvesting. I mean, we're all running around saying they're harvesting us. Well, on a planetary level, this is how, you know,
Well, yeah,
it
and you think the SS-10 is the originating cause, the Strait of Hormuz is the trigger, Gibraltar is the convergence point.
yes, that's that's a 3-point wormhole vector. Basically, those three work together there because they're most connected there. But yeah, that's that one is it's really, well, this is what the Atlantic diamond mermaids have been showing me, that they want to get this whole situation under control because they want to be able to open up the East Poseidon Gate. They're saying that that gate has been closed for a long time, that they don't let their people in and out and through that Poseidon Gate, and actually through the areas of Gibraltar, because ever since Atlantis fell, that whole area has been really messed up. It's, you know, holding a lot of the ancient temple ruins from Atlantis. It's holding a lot of the like the fallen ancient civilization that's under the water. There's a lot of they've actually sent in a different group of mermaids, the abyssal mermaids. Those ones have come through the trenches. They're kind of down there trying to keep like more darker evil things at bay per se.
Yeah.
And another thing they've brought forward is that they also want us to know that there's a reason why the Catholic Pope worships the Dagon, the fish god, the Dagon. They really do try to hide the fact that we kind of were originally like fish people. Even if you look at like the Jesus thing, like what would Jesus do? Like the fish symbol. It's like it's called a Tithicus or something like this. That's them also trying to hide the fact that the fish people were the ones that brought forward a lot of these things, this information, and like so but this I think is very deep crucifixion stuff that is connected to the fall of Atlantis, that's stuck down in these trenches. Like this information is literally stuck, these memories, like these records, like it's part of the things that were demolished in the fall of Atlantis. Like one of the things that, because when the crystal records got blown up, right, it's like the crystal technology, which was like the Christ technology. So a lot of that, you know, is connected, and I think it has a lot to do with this Gibraltar 3 wormhole connection here, that a lot of it's stuck down in this 3-point siphon.
Wow. Wow. I'll move to the next part here. Oh, and there's stuff on the bottom here. The SS10 masculine distortion programs, male sexual misery implants, king of tyranny implants, terror and conquest programming, hedonistic reversal systems, prostate and reproduction distortions. Is this all going on? Like go ahead if you want to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the SS10 type masculines, this is what's basically locked in their bodies. This is why, you know, they are really trying to expand the extension arms of SS10 and, you know, conquer other gate systems and things like this. It's because those SS10 types are carrying all those distortions. You know, they're carrying the bulk of the male sexual misery implants, the king of terrorism, the king of tyranny implants. They're carrying the hedonistic implants. They have the force breeder locator devices as like the predator type, right? So they're like the ones that are dominating the womb gates and things like this, and keeping the collective locked into the genetic warfare, and trying to control the birth rates on the planet. Basically, they want to control the genetic library of angelic human, basically. So that's, I mean, you guys know that, but this is really what's there. So it's locked and engaged in their body. And so, I mean, it's really tracing it back to the land consciousness and the Stargate in which they've come from, that there must be like a command node for these implants in that gate system. And, you know, as you know, the consciousness works as like a hive. It's like a hive mind, mind programming, and it that's how the implants function in the body. But yeah, it's very distinct. Even the circumcision wounding as well is a part of that.
Wow. And then you have something here: the correct guardian response, sovereignty and compassion together, secure borders, discern threats, protect populations, expose criminal networks, stop trafficking, restore law and order, honor human dignity, aid the innocent, pray for the dead, heal the trauma, remove the dark systems, restore the gates. And that's
Yeah.
interesting. Is that what the Guardians Alliance would like to do if they could help here and stuff like that?
It's basically like the advice that they give to us, that, you know, this is if we follow these steps, this is how we reclaim it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, this is how we rehabilitate this. And we do have to work with the aquatic guardians to do this, because so much of our wreckage history is underneath the waters. The only way we're getting down there to restore those things is to actually take on alliances and coalitions with the aquatic guardian lineages, basically.
Wow.
So yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's a huge unknown part of our history, right? And the thing about this is, I think we really have to rely on our oracles and our channels to bring this information forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, as long as people are getting the right information, right? Like, I guess that's where we have to use our discernment, right?
This is why our galactic history needs to come forward at such a deeper level. Things really need to be exposed. The thing is humanity has not really, what hasn't been revealed to humanity is what is contained inside of the Emerald Record Covenants, what is contained inside of the Diamond Covenants and things like this. Because if those things were actually restored, it's not just about restoring the 12 strands. That's what we used to think, right? But it's actually about restoring the original records and the scrolls and the information and the intelligence that is within that. Most people don't have that encoded into their field. So without that, you're literally walking around like a chicken with your head cut off on the earth, because you don't have the original divine code or law inside of you. The angelic clauses for existence is not inside you. So you don't actually feel like you have the authority to determine what is right and what is wrong. So all you're doing is relying on all these other people, all these other organizations, all these other programs, to the point that you're promoting gray sympathizers. Like, let's make peace treaties with the Greys and the Dracos, because the law of one, hello, no, that's actually not how it's going to happen. That's not how, you don't like go and make like friends with a lion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like hope it's not going to eat you. Okay. So yeah, it's about understanding our history, understanding the codes and ethics in which divine creation can survive. And if we can begin to see that and actually remove the crucifixion on this planet, because the crucifixion, those J seals in the planet is a real thing. It's another reason why everybody's walking around like a chicken with their head cut off. It's because they literally are so afraid to speak against things because they're so afraid of not being cool. They're so afraid of not being in network. They're so afraid of, like, going against the tide, going against the herd. And right now, the entire herd is getting ushered into a freaking harvesting agenda. Okay, they're all getting ushered into the hybrid cloning programs right now. Like, we should be very concerned about this right now. I mean, I think I talked about this last time I came on with the gray stuff and all that. We went into the agendas that are coming down the chute, basically, and how the super soldiers are running the freaking ascension programs right now. I mean, like, really, we're still under a kingship. And that's also another issue as well, is that the kings of the ascension programs are silencing a lot of the oracles, and they're also trying to separate them from their connection with the moon, which is the connection to the primordial waters, which is their psychic connection, which is their intuition, finding all ways to cut that cord, basically, so everything is self-doubted and nobody can actually really tune into that oracle channel that is necessary for us to restore the Stargate devastation sites. That's the number one weapon against evil, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And here you talk about the Atlantic diamond mermaids, the Bermuda, the Bimini, the Bahamas, and the SS3 Atlantic Basin. What's special about these? Are they all different? And wow, they really look unique. Like they look enchanting, Like,
yeah, they're all very different. These ones they're a little bit taller. They're a little bit more elegant. They have more of like the blue, white, silver, turquoise, opalescent skin. They have, long hair. They wear a lot of shell-like crowns. They have forehead pieces. They have pearl as armor. These ones are not afraid to they don't want to go to war, but they're kind of like the United States. They will go to war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're they have mermen in their kingdom, so they have more of defense systems.
Oh, for real? There's mermen too?
Yeah, and well, not in all of the mermaid, to believe it or not, some of them are just like strictly female mermaid groups, like the coral mermaids, the Caribbean coral mermaids. Some of them are all feminine, but the Atlantic diamond mermaids, they have mermen. And so do the Yonaguni mermaids. They're ruled under a kingship. So it just really depends. They have like different politics and different beliefs, like each of their kingdoms. And these ones are primarily Sirius B.
Wow.
Yeah, they came from Sirius B, and some of them are from Orion.
Can I ask you a question? This might be a dumb question, but will the mermaids show up in any body of water? Can it be natural? Is it going to be like natural water? Is it just or not? Or what do they call that? Like here in Pittsburgh, how we have rivers, right? Like whereas like in Florida, you have oceans. Like I guess they call that you have salt water. I have what do they call it? I can't. I'm missing the word, but will they show up in rivers?
Freshwater.
Freshwater, yeah, freshwater, yeah. Will
Yeah,
they show up in the water too?
Absolutely. Like if you just, on the map, you've seen how some of the swim passageways went through the river system. So there absolutely are freshwater mermaids. There are river mermaids. And they're a little bit smaller. They can look more human-like. Than a typical oceanic mermaid. Like they might look a little bit less fishy. Some of them can actually be like serpents as well.
Wow.
Have and they can oversee like the springs, the aquifers. They do a lot of emotional purification. So I mean, even this river float that we're doing, like we might connect with a river mermaid. I can only imagine that they would come and meet us there because like we're a pretty special group of people.
Yeah,
like they know we're coming. So really, I think that these ones. I know they're involved in a lot of the Mermaid Council politics. Like one of the things I've seen with the river mermaids is that they wanted us to know that how we pollute our river systems, that all of that flows into the ocean. They said that we forget how all water systems on the planet are actually connected. We forget that. And so when we're constantly polluting our rivers, and especially like a lot of emotional grief, like the mermaids they know what human beings are going through. Because they're emotionally psychic they read emotions. That's what
You
they
know,
do. So,
you know what I found interesting down in Florida, like I was asking my friend. Oh, I gotta plug in my laptop. 1 second, hold on. I was talking to my friend, and he was telling me about the Keys, and like I said, I think I saw that in Tampa too. And what I'm about to say, and my friend was telling me about these canals that they have in the Keys. Like my friend used to live on the canal in the Keys, and like he said, like he would see like dolphins and sharks on the canal. Like his house was like right on the canal, you know, where him and his girlfriend used to live. And he would see stuff every day, like literally like right, by his house. And then he would like, he would paddle across the canal to like, to his neighbor's house every day and go visit them. And, but like, what he was telling me about these canals is he said they're man-made, right? But like they funnel out into the ocean, which is interesting. So I wonder if that's a passageway for like the mermaids or other creatures or something like that,
yeah, yeah, it sounds like it. Definitely. Yeah, they're really saying like nothing's really off limits to them. I mean, it's water is more free than land, you know?
Yeah.
And so as long as, they don't meet certain types of negative groups in the waters, like vessels, military ships, secret space program ships, Federation ships, Draco ships, Anunnaki ships, all these things, like they're all like there's all like an aquatic version of all these types that are down there in the water,
No, I got a
So
question. Can the mermaids transfer from sea to land? Like, can they be like can they be like can they like shapeshift at all or anything like that?
mm, yes, they can. Well, not all of them can, but some of them can. Yeah. They well, just an idea, like some of the spirits down here in Louisiana, so I went down to Louisiana the other day, and I believe that a mermaid came out of the water to meet me, honestly, because I received like a whole bouquet of roses that was just like handed to me, and then I met up with the spirit of her name is Mami Wata. She is one of the African mermaid goddesses from the African diaspora, basically. And like the mermaids are very active down in Louisiana. Like they love Louisiana. Like the mermaids are playing in Louisiana, like all of the canals, like because there's so many of them. But yeah, I think they can come on the land if they need to work with you or they want to work with you. And a lot of times if they do that, they'll bring you a gift.
Yeah. I heard a story about the Mami Wata, which is like, or at least this is what they call it, that like supposedly women get, and this could be inverted, for, I don't know, like, but they say that they call it the Mami Wata tradition or something like that, or the Paul Wallace talked about it when he came on my show. He said where these women said they were getting abducted off of beaches in Africa and they were taken to like underground, like, like, or underwater bases, and they were, used in
That sounds like the secret space program.
but yeah, but like here's what he said though. He said like when they came back, they said they got treated really well. So it could have been, I don't know, it could be some like alien mermaid base or something like that. I don't, who knows, right? I mean, it could be, like they said that they were like, I don't know, but like I just feel
What I
like
got is that the mermaids themselves were not dark beings, and that a lot of them get like a lot of these demonization and demoralization and monsterization campaigns against them because they are the closest thing to the primordial consciousness on the planet. And
yeah,
so a lot of people have said that like the Nephilim, that they were the Nephilim and they were banished to the ocean. And so they're actually Nephilim. So there's people that literally believe the mermaids are the Nephilim. Also the fallen angels. A lot of people think that they're the fallen angels. It's, you know, it really takes this deep, dark, demonic curve. And I think it's the projection of people's deepest, darkest subconscious fears that comes through that. Because I kind of seen that the mermaid's soul lineage, not only did they come from the primordial, consciousness of the sea, but that they were also very highly seraphim as well. They had like an angelic component to them. I think that there is a fallen element to the seraphim as well, but it is under rehabilitation. Not all of the seraphim soul lineage is fallen, but that some of the mermaid lines could reflect this,
yeah.
basically. But the whole story of the Nephilim, I don't think that's true or real. I think that they're inside of the inner earth, pissed off in the prison systems.
Oh wow.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like, wait. That's interesting. Rewind that a second. Now, wait, hold up. So, you think the inner Earth? That mean the Nephilim are trapped inside the inner Earth? So, do you think they could be like demonic, and they could be like? Do you think that's what people are dealing with when they're like being haunted and stuff? That they're like dealing with spirits of the Nephilim?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, a lot of them were destroyed, right? That was like God's order was to destroy this abomination, basically. So a lot of them were destroyed. The ones that weren't destroyed and couldn't camouflage themselves enough into society, they were rounded up and taken into the outer realms of Agartha, which is where a lot of the Nephilim prisons are. And they chain them up there. I've seen this psychically, honestly, for like the last 12 years, like in the dream space, even, and things like this.
Yeah.
So I really do feel that, that's really truly where they are. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard that. That's why I said that. I heard that like the Nephilim are the spirits that that haunt people and stuff. It's like that. I heard it's the Archons, the Nephilim. Like I heard that's what like people are being bothered by here. And then if it's not them, it's like their lackeys or like their flunkies. They're like the lesser beings that they send out to like bother people. So it would be like the Archons, the Nephilim. Yeah, that's kind of what I heard about that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, there's
Um,
a whole demonology to all of this. Um, you've heard of Alabar Jones. I just spoke with him
yeah,
the
I've had
other
him on
day.
my
He seemed
show.
like a pretty cool guy, but yeah, I think that's what he does. He hunts demon kind. I think I connected with him the other day and he was going after Kronos or something like that. So it's it's definitely difficult work, but I think there is a place for it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So,
Okay,
but
what is this? The Gulf or Mermaid? The Gulf. So this is the Gulf or Emerald Mermaids. This would be the Gulf of America, the Florida, Pensacola, Destin, Caribbean corridor, Sarasota, and Louisiana.
oh yeah, they're all up in the Gulf region. They're very beautiful as well. They have some of them have like aquatic wings. Some of them have like translucent veils as well. They really these are the ones that I keep seeing them. These ones come up to my house a lot. I mean, this is what's in my if they come up to my pool, they'll literally hang out and yeah, slather themselves in all the oil. Sometimes they'll bring seagrass up. Sometimes they will bring up like some coral things and things like that, little trinkets. But these ones had really beautiful eyes. I mean, they had like amber eyes, turquoise, green, like super bright emerald green eyes. Like they just were very gentle. They did have connections to Stargate too. So like Sarasota is like the main oceanic Stargate there. And these ones really work with the Lemurian sea temples. So they're like Lemurian sea temple record holders. And they safeguard those Lemurian sea temples that hold a lot of the Lemurian Mu history. They have like maps, they have like ancient Lemurian Mu maps inside some of those temples. They have like a lot of records and libraries and, things like we would have to like keep a hold of your history. And even like, records and pieces of the emerald crystal skull before it got moved over to Hawaii and to the Nepali coast. They have like pieces of that, remnants of that there. So these ones do work really closely with the coral, the Caribbean mermaids, but also the Pacific ones, the rainbow ones from the Pacific. They work with them because they said they swim through the Panama Canal and things like that. Like they get
Wow.
over to the other side. Yeah. These ones are very Syrian. They do have a lot of Hydra energy and Venusian energy. Um, they do want us to kind of return to the waters and be more present with water. They want us to connect more with it.
I'm
These
reading
ones,
this. I'm reading the Mermaid Poets. It says the Gulf Mermaid nations confront Atlantic to Gulf SS3 interference, synthetic military frequency systems, submerged coastal installations, disruption of dolphin and whale migration, oil, chemical, sonar, and electromagnetic disturbance, and attempts to access Lemurian temple records. The central question is whether humans can partner in water guardianship through consent and stewardship rather than ownership, command, and commercialization or spiritual colonization. I love that. That's cool.
yeah. Yeah. They're really, I feel like they hold a lot of the older aquatic sovereignty laws. Like they seem like they
Well,
have a lot of wisdom.
wow, this one just jumped out at me. Like this next one, this the Caribbean coral mermaids. Like this picture really pops. You know, like I mean, like there's a lot of nice color in the. I mean, like this image just came out really well. You know what I mean? Like yeah, and
Well,
like
these mermaids are so pretty. Like they're gorgeous mermaids because I mean they live around the coral reefs and like all of the fish around the corals are just gorgeous fish, like full of color. So like the mermaids kind of resemble that, like coral red and pink and orange and yellow and turquoise and like all these like beautiful patterns. These ones really like to do, they were showing me they do like a water henna. Like they actually will like paint things on their bodies. They're very artistic, these ones.
and now
And yeah,
are all the mermaids? Is there like a central mermaid like command or like is it do they all relate to each other from all the different areas?
not all of them are connected to each other, but some of them do hold alliances, like the Diamond Atlantic mermaids have alliances with the Mediterranean siren houses because obviously they guard a border together like that Poseidon Gate. Um these ones are very connected to the Gulf, the Emerald Gulf mermaids. So I mean, they're like sister cities or something like that, where like they can check up on each other, they can protect one another. They have to work together because these are both female only mermaid pods. Like they don't have men in their pods.
Okay.
Um it's they still hold a lot of the original Lemurian Mu priestess like birthing technologies, underwater birthing technologies. Like they can do like the parthenogenesis, like underwater birthing and things like that. So it's like they've yeah, they're they're very interesting. They're probably the most blood coded to the original like Lemurian DNA, like the 12-strand DNA of Lemuria. Or I would say
Wow.
13-strand DNA of Lemuria.
Wow, that's amazing. Like I gotta zoom in on this to see some of these words. Let me see what it says. It's special abilities, coral reef consciousness, ancestral water memory, music, drumming, voice, sonic healing, storm communication, emotional release, protection of island bloodlines, navigation between surface islands and submerged cities, rebuilding damaged networks, sacred psychic prophetic observations, their assistance, mermaid politics. Oh, this is cool how you have this all broken down. And yeah, this is really cool, you know? Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it was fun to put these together. It really was.
Yeah, hell yeah, this is awesome. I'll move to the next one. Okay, so this would be the ones I would probably be most closely related to because this is where I'm from, the Mediterranean. Tell us about these ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would make sense why you probably enjoy beautiful women and things like this because these are the most beautiful mermaids. These are the creme de la creme. These are the
You
most,
had to throw that in there, right?
yeah, yeah. They're the most gracious. They wear the most jewelry and they are actually more human-like, like from the waist up. That's what makes them so beautiful. And like
Yeah.
they're and like that's why men like them, like why like sailors like them and things like this because
Do they seduce men? Or is that just like an old sailor's tale that mermaids seduce men?
the mermaids deny this. Like that's what I get, that they say that they're like there to like help them, guide them, sometimes redirect them from their seas. I didn't get that like the deal was nefarious. The mermaids basically act like the humans are just mad or bitter because they didn't give them a chance or something
Yeah.
like that. Like they kind of have attitudes like that. Like, what? Those those humans think we want them? Huh. They're kind of like that. Um
Well, again, this is another beautiful image. Like I just like things that are pointing out to me. Like I love how you have like the ancient Greek temples, kind of like, and on the right side, it looks more like, I don't know what that would be, like Egyptian or Sumerian maybe. And then on the bottom, the women, they have the writing in Greek almost here. And I like this. This is really cool. Like, and
these
they
mermaids
almost look
said
like,
that the Starbucks logo is them. that they are the Starbucks logo, because it's a twin-tailed mermaid on the logo.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they said that comes from their Greek art, and that originally comes from them.
So another thing that got inverted, right? Like, because Starbucks kind of inverted that or something, right?
Yeah, basically, but they said, like, they're double slit tails. Like, if a mermaid has a double slit tail, she's basically seen as, like, royalty, like, she's more exalted, she's more seen as, like, the high priestess in the group of mermaids. So, these ones, all the guys want the twin-tailed mermaids, basically. So,
Yeah.
there's
And
something with
and,
that.
and
There's also a
did
connection to the Trevi Fountain. So the Trevi Fountain is like their ancient. This is like they're saying that their ancestors are very connected to the Trevi Fountain. Um, that sometimes they'll appear out of the Trevi Fountain and like expose themselves to people.
whoa. What is the Trevi Fountain? What's that? Like, what?
It's in Rome. I went there, actually. I was there when I filmed my Medusa piece, but I think it's connected to like Triton and Poseidon. There's a connection there that it was some sort of a deal or alliance that was made with Triton because he served as like a civil servant of the sea, and so there's something happened that they paid tribute basically to their ancestors over 2,000 years through the Trevi Fountain.
And almost like these pictures seem so alive that it almost seems like these are like depictions of what's really going on. And I'm not saying that, but that's what it does. It seems like it really like these are so lifelike that like like that like this is just like a depiction of what we're not being told about. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Definitely. What's so crazy is ever since I started putting this mermaid intel out, everybody's been messaging me and being like, "Oh my gosh, Indy, my dreams have been so lit up. Like they're coming through in the dream space. They're working with me now. Like I'm so like wide open." And it does have something to do with us connecting back into the psychic fluidity of the moon and the water, like this primordial energy coming forward, and the mermaids giving us these access keys and this psychic information from the water. It turns us on psychically more than anything, because
Yeah.
the water and the moon rules our psychic intuition. So this is why I said we're having a mass guardian contact event through 8/8 and through this September. We're also going through a lunar eclipse, I think on August 24th, that the lunar energy is just going to be really exalted, and they're going to continue to make this contact with humanity. So this is going to be ramping up in the dream fields. As they clear up the Stargate devastation sites, guess what gets cleared out of us? The artificial dreamscapes that are in our dream fields.
Whoa, that's huge, right?
Yeah. So that means we get full memory record return in the dream field. Literally 2 weeks ago, I downloaded the entire template of Atlantis because that's been getting cleared.
Wow.
So it's
That's
like
amazing.
our dreams can be so much more vivid, and this is what we forgot. We forgot
Wow.
that.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to read this. It says mermaid politics. Mediterranean mermaids are shaped by old temple lineages and inherited agreements. Conflicts include rival priestess houses, control of maritime initiation sites, misuse of siren sound technology, suppression of feminine mystery traditions, agreements with fallen Atlantean or Anunnaki factions, disputes over Egyptian, Greek, Minoan, Phoenician, and Roman sea records, the weaponization of beauty and charisma, the false accusations against siren races. The main division is between organic siren houses and factions that use sound for domination and psychic coercion. Wow, that's cool. This is really cool. Okay, now we have the okay, this is interesting too. This would be like getting over into like Stargate 10, right? This is like the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden fire water mermaids. This is the Arabian Sea. I mean, this isn't exactly Stargate 10, but this is like your GCC countries, right? Like your the Arabian Peninsula is like the Gulf Coast countries, right? Is that where?
Yeah. And you can see in the picture that these mermaids they're darker, they're sharper, they're more armored than the other mermaids. They have like
Yeah,
weapons.
these ones look like they're going to war.
Yeah, they are. They don't mess around, these ones. They're like warriors, They're
Wow.
like ready to mess some stuff up. Yeah, I mean, so they're not exactly like what I got with them is like, yeah, you can kind of tune in with them energetically, but they'll close the connection down if they don't want to, they don't want it. You know, they
Oh, wait, I'm
will,
gonna ask you a question. Where's the Red Sea in the Gulf of Aden?
it's right through the Black Cube, Mecca, right up to Stargate 10 between the Iran-Iraq border. Basically, it runs all through Bahrain. It goes out to, yeah, the Gulf of Aden, curves around there.
Is this stuff in your book? Did you put this in your book, or are you coming out with a new book with this information? Because I'd love to have a copy of it. Like, no, I would never, distribute it. Like, I just think this is just so cool. Like, I love how you have the galactic signature up top. It says oldest continuous Sirius absolute lineage on Earth, direct Enki Atlantis transmission current. So that means they have connections to Enki with Orion Warrior Gatekeeper overlays. That's fucking
Yes.
sick.
Yeah. So there was a story of a spirit named Oannes who came up and worked with the ancient Sumer civilization. These mermaids do claim that they are the oldest mermaids. Now, I don't think it's true because I heard from the other mermaids that they're the oldest and blah, blah, blah. But I think they might be one of the oldest, these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to place that story
These
of
ones had
Oannes.
a run in with the Anunnaki for sure. Like,
Yeah.
they had direct connection with Enki.
Well,
They're
do
actually
you think,
saying like Enki had like worked directly with Oannes.
but
So
and all together, do you think some of these mermaids come from off planet, or like were they terraformed here, or did they naturally evolve with the planet?
what I'm gathering is that they came in as the primordial waters came in, that they were a part of the primordial sea records. So I do think they came from other galactic systems, such as Sirius B, Orion, Hydra, some of the Aquafarians and Andromeda, and some of the Seraphim angelic soul lines, and Venus as well. Just like humans, they get part of their souls and spirits from everywhere, kind of like we do in a way. But I think they came in as the primordial waters came here. Like, I think they are spirits of the primordial sea. Like, so, it's still a little confusing, to be honest with me, because like their hybridized records to me haven't been fully revealed. Like, how or why are their spirits hybridized, half human, half fish? Because I
Yeah.
asked like directly to my higher self, and I say like, is this an abomination? Da 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 da. And I get very clearly and directly that the answer is no, that they are not fallen beings. So there's something really deep about all of this, and I think the more that we can actually get access to some of these sea temples and things like this, like the more that like they work with humankind, like more of this information will be revealed to us. That's why it's so important right now, because they're like a huge missing piece of humanity's origin history as well. Like they're the missing component to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if we had like the whole full mermaid record? Like that would restore so much of our history, especially
Yeah.
if they were the ones that brought forth Christ
Whoa.
consciousness, right?
That would be
Think about
huge.
that. If Christ consciousness came from the seas, I mean, as much as it came from the sun and all the other places, but that if it birthed itself from the sea, like, so it's interesting.
Yeah, that is. So the next we have the Indian Ocean pearl mermaids, the Scillies, the Maldives, Madagascar, Sri Lanka, and the Indian Ocean temple grounds. So this is over by India, right?
Yep. These ones are like they're pearl. They work with the pearls. They're all about the pearls. They're pearl priestesses. One of the things they showed me is that like if anyone has a hard time getting over and through trauma, that to work with the pearls. Pearls are meant to like neutralize trauma and like things like this. They're healer lineages. They hold a lot of the records to Africa and India and ancient Lemuria. They claim that they have the oldest Lemurian history in their waters. So they're very kind of like, I wouldn't call it arrogant, but they're a little bit like, they do kind of put their noses up a little bit at the rainbow mermaids. I don't know if they're like competitive with these ones for like the Lemurian history, but they don't like anybody or anything that like subjugates the like Lemurian timeline, because they act like they have like the vault record of it or something. Like like any of these artificial inorganic overlays of Lemuria, like they're quick to say that they're not true or something's not right about
Yeah.
it or something, because it's like they have like the true fragments of the history. So I think it's true, but they're also very protective of their kingdom. They are the ones that hold a lot of the prophecies for like the golden age, the pearl age of the mermaids per se. Their pearl timeline instead of the golden timeline, you know?
Yeah. This is really cool. Yeah, and
There's so
yeah,
many of them. It's a lot to get through. Like if you don't have time to get through all of them, I think there's 12
well,
on here.
we'll keep going. This is really cool. I know we don't have a lot of time, so we can kind of go through the quick one. Next, we have the Pacific Lemurian Rainbow Mermaids, and these would be the ones connected to Hawaii, Micronesia, Easter Island, New Zealand, and the Pacific Temple Network, right? Or Hawaii, Kauai, Fiji. Yeah.
Yeah. These ones are, well, they are like half human, half fish, but some of them are like different types of beings. Like I've seen them like half dragon, half mermaid tail. Like some of them look like,
Whoa, so they're connected to the dragons. Holy shit.
some of them, yeah. Some of them, they're not as dragon as the Yonaguni dragon mermaids, but they do have some dragon there.
Do they have a relation? Do all these mermaids? Do all the mermaids have a relationship with the dragons?
Not every mermaid lineage does per se, but these ones do. And so do the Yonaguni dragon mermaids, definitely. Yeah. I
Wow.
think probably the Emerald Gulf mermaids do as well, and the Caribbean coral mermaids. I didn't see a lot of dragons working with the Atlantic ones or the
Yeah.
Mediterranean ones as much per se, but it does seem that the mermaids that are located on the Lemurian Moon Dragon ley line routes that are more connected to the Polynesian and like the southern equatorial area, like all the way over to Japan, that those ones are more connected to the dragons.
Whoa, this is crazy. Look at this one, guys. The Yonaguni dragon mermaids. Like this guy has a shark head. It's like a being with a shark head, and then on the left side, there's like another weird creature. Like, do they hang out with these creatures, or they? And these
Yeah,
would be
no,
like
these ones are the craziest ones. These ones are, I mean, they do have half. They said they're less considerably human, so they'll have more monstrous looking types. Like some have sharp teeth, some have like animalistic faces, some are just barely humanoid at all. Like they're just really like full dragon. Like
Whoa, that's cool.
yeah. These ones have like a lot of magical powers. Even in Japan, they have like a lot of beliefs that if you see one, either like you're doomed to like some like really bad luck, or they can like bless you with like the gift of longevity in life. So people that have seen these mermaids have lived like 800 to like 8,000 years because they came in contact with one of these mermaids.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they're really the ones that are more located up by the China Seas, those ones, they said specifically their ancestor was the carp fish. So their tails are like very carpy. Which I thought was kind of weird.
That is
But
weird. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
This one is something we should definitely touch on. The Marianas, and we'll go through them all. We're just moving a little bit quicker, guys, and maybe we can do another deep dive into this, because this is really good information. But like the Mariana Trench, this is what Renetta talked about. She thought there was like some kind of like serpent or fish being under the Marianas Trench. Like she talked about that a lot. Like, and she also, what was interesting also about Renetta is she thought that like whatever sensors were in her head were transmitting to the Marianas Trench and then also out to deep space. So that's weird. I don't know.
Mm. Mm. Well, it feels right. I mean, it feels aligned with these beings in a sense because these ones they are, well, they're very dark. Like they have, some of them are black. They look so dark because they're in the trench, right?
Yeah.
But then some of them are like bioluminescent, kind of like the fish that are down in the trench. Like, that one fish that carries that little thing out in the front of it and then it like lights up when it like kind of eats it. I think it was in like what was that? Finding Nemo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that movie. Watch that one a lot with my girls. But yeah, those ones, yeah, they have some of those like lantern like organs, like their organs like light up and stuff. They are very deep. They're all about deep pressure stabilization. So they're down there to stabilize those trenches. So
Wow.
they like take trench guardianship is what they say, and they protect the planetary shadow records. Not that those need protection, but they say like what they show me is like some things just can't be released. Like there's actually deeper, you know, uh, darker things that they keep at bay in those waters, basically. So
Wow.
I
Maybe
haven't been able to see what all those things are per se, but
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
monitoring those abyssals and trenches. And
Oh, that's interesting what you say here in the Mermaid Post. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's Leviathan associated races. That's interesting. Like, yeah, that's what Renetta talked about. She talked about like Leviathan, like being under there or something. Maybe that's what it was. I can't
yeah,
remember so long ago. Yeah, like
I
you know what I
think
mean?
that's right. Yep, that's right. The Leviathan. Yep.
So do you think that's what they're kind of holding at bay? That they hold that that they hold power with that Leviathan being, or like it's like a duality there or something?
There really possibly could be, to be honest with you, because they do seem to really dark for, or like they seem to like vouch for the intelligence that's in the darkness. Like
Yeah.
they really like, it's I don't know if these are mermaids we could per se that we entirely like would trust, but there's also just so much about them that's unknown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that makes them a little bit scary. I know that they do have deep pressure Hydra templates and Orion templates as well. So a lot of their like ancestors came from Hydra and Orion.
Wow.
Um they they're dealing with like territorial issues down there in the trenches. They they're talking about hybrid laboratories, that there may be hybrid. This might be where some of the who knows, some of the ancient hybrid mermaid records are locked up.
Wow.
Super deep sea
And
mining.
that's cool. And then I guess this would be the last one, the Arctic ice mermaids, the ones up in the Greenland, Iceland, Norway. What's up with these ones? They look really interesting too.
Yeah, these ones. Well, it's pretty. They don't like to be called mermaids. These ones. They like to be
Okay.
called sea maidens. They made that very
Okay.
clear. Like we're not mermaids, we're sea maidens. So they say like we're mistaken for them and things like this. But these ones, and I wonder, they are a little different. These ones seem to have like webbed fingers. They were like fishy looking in that sense. Um, they have, I think these are some of the ones that come up onto the land. Yeah, I'm getting that these ones like to really like, they'll come up. Um,
The only place I don't think we had was this would be it. Maybe I was gonna say the Russian Ukraine area, and that maybe that would be would that be this is the Antarctic. Like, is there like a Russian Ukrainian up
there
that?
was, they were the Northern Slavic Soul Passage mermaids, but they didn't want to come forward and like they wanted to be more like hidden because they are in like obviously a lot colder waters. They're in the Black Sea. They're really connected to SS6, so Stargate 6, Moscow, Russia.
Yeah.
They The only thing that I got from them is that they said that they sung some like song. They sing this like song to the moon all the time. That they told me they were like saying that they there was this lady that they rescued that was drowning, and she was singing this song to the moon as like they were rescuing her. And they said they've sang the song ever since then. And so they really help with like the drownings, people like rescuing people from the waters, burials and things like that. And I think their work is just very like in mediumship, like water mediumship. So they didn't
Yeah.
like come forward and like reveal their whole kingdom per se, but
Yeah, but all these
Yeah.
other mermaids wanted to come out. Like they wanted, they literally like they want the world to know about them. Is that what you're saying? Like they
Yeah.
want the world.
Yeah. More of them are more. Some of them are more open than others. Some of them are like we're revealing ourselves for like specific purposes only, and no, you can't have access to this, and no, you can't have access to that, and no, we still don't want you swimming in our territories. But some of them are like, no, we were ready to work with you on a psychic level. We're ready to like open up some of our underwater technology for humanity to access, so that way we can restore parts of ourselves and be more aware of the waters, because we're needing to really heal the waters at this time. We're really needing to connect in with this for psychic rehabilitation on the planet, and also Stargate rehabilitation, and reclaiming the wreckage parts of our history like Atlantis and all of the cataclysmic timelines and things like that, and to pull us out of a lot of these recycling timeline loop cycles and things like this. So yeah, they want to come, many of them want to come forward to work with us to heal and to step into higher levels of planetary guardianship.
Wow, that's awesome. Like this is really cool. And so this was the last ones. I think the Antarctic, or is this the last one? The Antarctic. Oh no, wait, there's more. Holy
Oh, there's
shit.
more. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's more. Okay, wait. Yes, I really like the South Atlantic storm mermaids. The last one that you were on. Yeah,
Yeah.
those ones are like they are really around the Cape of Good Hope, um, Southern Atlantic, African Ocean areas, and they have dark skin. Like a lot of them are like, brown and bronze and black blue. Some of them are silver. They're like very muscular, and they work a lot with the storm clouds.
Oh, it reminds
So
me of the girl Storm from X-Men. The one girl in here does. You know what I mean? She reminds me. She has like the silver hair like Storm does. You know what I mean? That's interesting, right? Like it's like it's like how movies depict reality and reality depicts movie. You know what I mean? Like right or
yeah,
no?
totally. Well, they are storm mermaids, so it's like they do storm regulation. They because they're on the southern 33rd degree parallel, they're saying that they're the ones that like counterbalance the entire like grids because of
Wow.
that. Because there's so much override on the northern 33 that they counterbalance a lot of that energy. Um, so they do work in like planetary defense. Um, they would show me like water crowning systems, like how the water was crowning. They also would show me how they do a lot of redirecting of ships, because there's a lot of ships that try to pass around and through their corridors because they're at a point where like two different waters come together.
Yeah,
And a
they're
lot
like
of
a
like
convergence point, right? Like it's like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So they're a little bit kind of rough around the edges, kind of like the Red Sea mermaids were, because they're a little bit more like we don't put up with crap type of energy. Like they
Yeah.
redirect things. They're like more about protection. They use the storms to actually protect certain areas of the waters. So it's like, yeah, they'll like set off a storm if like ships are trying to come through and they don't want them to come through.
This was
Um,
amazing. Holy shit. I guess I'll stop sharing now. Hold on. Let me
yeah, it was so much fun, right?
hell yeah. I mean, it was really interesting. Like it was really interesting. Like I think the audience really liked it too. You know, I think people will like it who watch afterwards. You
Yeah,
know,
put
that
a big like on this video, you guys, if you have been connecting with the mermaids, seeing the mermaids, um, feeling them in the dream space, all of it, because yeah, this is exciting. I think we're all really excited about it.
yeah. So and yeah, and in Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot shared your channel. So yeah, guys, go subscribe to Indy's channel at Indigo Angel on YouTube. And yeah, this was really cool. I mean, we went for an hour and a half, which isn't that long, but I mean, like
And I have my
it was
mermaid
real.
necklace.
I really enjoyed it. What's that?
This is my mermaid necklace. Well, it's actually a
Oh,
fish.
that
It's a fish with an
wow,
abilene on it. But yeah. So it's like this
that is
necklace
cool. I
came to
like
me
that.
like right before the mermaids came to me, and I'm like, what is going on? You know?
Whoa,
Yeah. I haven't named
wow.
this mermaid back here. She hasn't like given me a name per se, but what do you think her name is?
Let me take a look. I don't know. I think I think you'll be able to come up with a really good name. I don't know. What do you think? Like, what do you? I can't think of a good name for her. You know?
Yeah. Well, maybe we do a part 2 and I'll let you know. I'll sit with her and see what comes through, and we can go deeper into the mermaids, because I think this is only going to keep unfolding. I think there's so much with this that they're going to keep
I like.
revealing all what's going on in the waters.
I think it's it was really interesting, and it's like nobody's covering this, so like it's really cool. Flix Love says Walexia. She says her name should be Walexia.
Walexia. Okay. Give me meaning for Walexia.
And yeah, and if anybody else has other names, put it in the chat, whatever you think it should be. Like
Athena. Okay.
Yeah, I like Athena. It depends on
Right. Like, well, the thing is I don't think she's a Mediterranean. I think she's a Gulf mermaid. She's one of the Emerald Gulf mermaids.
How about Destiny? For Destiny.
Missing time 420 put Lucifer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Lucifina. Hey, that's not funny.
I like Destiny.
Destiny?
I don't know. Yeah,
okay.
short for Destin. Or been what for Destin, Florida, and Destiny, and the feminine name.
And I got my Destin hat on.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's a sign. Yeah.
I don't know. I like Destiny as well, because it does feel like the mermaids are returning the destiny. Like, because think about it, like the Anunnaki stole the tablets of destiny from the moon, right? So that's like kind of like taking a part of the primordial waters history as well. And
Absolutely.
not only that, it's the moon holds the Genesis creation records of the primordial waters. So
it's so weird. When you first asked me that was what my mind first said, but then something told me not to say it. Like something said to me, like right off the bat, something said, say Destiny. And I didn't say it. And something told me not to. I don't know why, but then it came back around again. And then I was just like, I'm just going to say it. I think it's a good idea. And that's what came out. I don't know.
Yeah. I love that so much. I love it even more now because that's how it happened.
Yeah. So it's like,
no, seriously, because like that is you connecting with your psychic power right there. You know what I mean? You just tried to shush it, but then it was like, no, we're coming through. Yeah, no,
maybe
I love
she's
it.
telling me that, maybe she's like, maybe that's what she's saying. I don't know.
Her name is Destiny. That's it. It's official. She's Destiny.
I like that. All right. Well, this was awesome, Indy. Do you want to tell people how they can follow you and anything you want to promote? Thank you. This was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me at my YouTube channel that Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot just posted, and follow me on X. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I would recommend following me there, honestly, because I do drop a lot of like my channelings there, like as they come through,
Hey, Whacker wants to know, don't you have a Patreon? You have a Patreon, right?
I do have a Patreon. Everything does get posted on my Patreon as well. I do have like some special offerings on my Patreon, like a Starseed Origin chart. I don't keep up on my grid worker stuff that much on my Patreon anymore. I used to do a lot of grid worker missions on Patreon, but I've since kept doing that. My attention and my focus has kind of shifted, but also the Starfort event, I hope like everyone who feels called to come, and definitely we're going to be working with the mermaids. So that's going to be a huge part of it.
Are you doing a river float during it, or what? What's the trip itinerary? Tell us a little bit about the tour. Like, what can people expect if they come on the trip?
Well, it's going to be amazing. One of the days I'm renting like a whole boat for our entire group to go out for half a day out on the out in the Gulf, and we're gonna connect with the mermaids. We're gonna do some oceanic grid work on the boat and some meditation with the mermaids and the dolphins and see what comes through. And then we're gonna have a private pool party, but it's not really gonna be a pool party. We'll probably do some water ceremony and ritual, connect deeper with the emotions, things like this. We're gonna have a day that we do the river float in Blackwater National Forest. So yeah, that'll be a 3-hour river float. and then we're like renting a pavilion, so we're gonna float down the river all day together, like tie our floaties together and like put on meditation music, and like it's gonna be awesome. My neighbors are out in the backyard playing basketball now, but we're gonna do. We got a whole bunch of things planned. Really, honestly, it's gonna be so much fun. So
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thanks, Indy. This was amazing. Kay Wacker wanted me to tell you this. She said, she said she was told, maybe he's a he, I'm not sure. He said, I was told I was a mermaid in a past life from Sirius Planet B. And then, she also said, very interesting. I enjoyed this. And a lot of people said that, but like, also she couldn't find your Patreon. She said, what's it called? What's your Patreon called?
I believe it's just patreon.com/Indigo Angel, all one word.
Okay.
You can probably find it from my website as well, indigoangel222.com. Honestly, the best thing to do is to sign up for my newsletters and get the writings, because I will always send out a newsletter. And it's nice to pair those with my videos, because my videos are always like very extensive and heady and wordy and like just crazy. So if you have the writing, it can help you decipher everything. So yeah. Probably my website is best.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
IndigoAngel222.com.
Yeah, check her out and subscribe to your YouTube channel. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I'll see you guys all tonight. I'll be on later tonight. And have a good night.